with the Raiders, man, the whole focus was Jimmy G, and even since I left, man, he's throwing more interceptions. I could tell it's becoming a thing with Josh McDaniels, and
why can't we say that the defense is playing well,
yeah,
Gilbert?
yeah. Why can't our defense have some plays, especially a team that had 13 takeaways last year for the worst mark in the league? So I get it. That time we're going to talk about it too later when it comes to
Yeah.
super positive and super negative, and there's like a blend to it. But that's the big question mark with the Raiders, man. Can Jimmy G be the guy to at least lead this offense with Josh McDaniels? And so far what I'm seeing, he knows how to operate the McDaniels scheme, but it's going to be a process because even to McDaniels' credit, he told me, yeah, I haven't seen this guy since his Patriots days. He's a different quarterback from 49ers days. He got 2 starts with New England, and we're all assuming he's going to pick up the playbook. So, it won't be a smooth transition, but that is a topic for when I went, at least for in Henderson, before Josh Jacobs returns, right?
Yeah. So what's the feeling without Josh Jacobs there? Like media, fans, or like the staff, like kind of what's the feeling around there?
Well, I wasn't. I was thinking like, okay, when Josh McDaniels told me, he was like, "Hey, like we expect him back." I'm like, has he said that before in a quote? I didn't know how big it was. And then I saw people kind of pick up the quote from the story. But when he's talking about, hey, when he comes back, when we get him back in the flow of things, when we integrate him in the offense, that makes me feel like he's part of the team and they expect him back. And then if you're Josh Jacobs, man, like you're not gonna give up on $10 million guarantee, like whatever Le'Veon Bell did at 2017. I forgot the year. I'm like, who would do that nowadays? Man, just giving up 10
Le'Veon
million.
said he regretted it, by the way.
Yeah. So even like today, like I was at 49ers camp. Nick Bosa, they asked Kyle Shanahan, they're not worried about it. This guy's gonna be in top shape. He's gonna pick up his check, and they're gonna figure it out later. So.
Hey,
Yeah.
they could just look down south and see how Joey is physically, and
Dude.
they'll know that that Nick's fine.
They kept talking about like, oh yeah, like he never comes to off-season program. He trains, and in my head, I'm like, I know where he trains in Florida with his brother. So that was kind of funny to see the other side of it too.
The 49ers, I know that Brock Purdy's starting to throw and he's starting to get going, but it kind of feels like this has been their thing since Kyle Shanahan got there. Like the defense is all set. The offense has weapons, but it's just the quarterback. They're missing the quarterback. Is that kind of your sense? By the way, there was a weird story over the weekend that the 49ers were thinking that if they would have beat the Eagles, they would have called Phillip Rivers, and he might have been the starting quarterback for them in the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
I saw a story somewhere about that, and I was like, whoa. I'm like, maybe you should have called them beforehand, but who cares? That's not important, but I just thought it was funny. But is that kind of the sense that about Brock Purdy? Because I heard that Trey Lance is third is the third quarterback and stuff.
By the way, for the way I was gonna write my story, you would have been proud, but I don't think I know the offense that well to do it. But here's how they're doing it 49ers camp for Trey Lance and Sam Darnold. They're both fighting for the backup job, but it's like Trey Lance is like the assistant to the backup job. It's something weird. Like, so I was getting worried for Trey Lance because he went. Brandon Allen went before Trey Lance and team drills. I'm like, what the hell is he, number 4 now? And then he didn't get his turn into Brock Purdy went a second time around, and then Trey Lance went second. So I think they want Trey Lance to be with the second team, but they don't want to disrupt the flow of 1, 2, 3. So he kind of waits a second away for his reps. And then like when the practice is over, Trey Lance has like 4 passes to throw. Like he's getting no reps out there, but he is the backup to the backup, and it's not looking good for Trey.
That is that's honestly pretty interesting, especially because I mean, you know how we do here. I mean, we like to have breaking news. We like to have videos and stuff, and I have secret videos from the discussion between what's going on with the quarterback situation. It's right here.
You're always ready.
So there you go. That's how the discussions are going. It's lower. So, but I mean, what can Trey Lance do?
Yeah, I was gonna answer that. With a Brock Purdy twist, this job this job is over, man. Or at least this the franchise quarterback spot. It's Brock Purdy's, man. Like Trey Lance got to go somewhere else.
Not even Sam could compete for it, probably.
Oh no, this is Brock Purdy's job, and how they're all worried about will he come back, will he won't, and he's been playing in practice. He's been doing his reps, but with like an injury management, right? You get 2 days going, you get a day off, and it kind of reminded me of the Matthew Stafford with the Rams last year. I'm like, that could be bad. I don't know. And I get there today, man. This guy's on point, man. Like he's quick. You know, he knows where to put the ball. You know, when there's a one quick read, is boom, the ball comes out of nowhere. When he's taking his time, I think the thing they want him to work on is being more patient in the pocket and moving his footwork. Like his footwork's a little clunky, but you could tell he's being patient. He's trying to listen to Kyle Shanahan, and when he sees that something open, like tight window throws, man. Like Brock Purdy is a dude, and I think he's better than whatever Jimmy G was at his peak. Maybe it could be like a top 10 quarterback kind of era. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's gonna be like an established star, but he's gonna be very good. I don't know what level that is, but if you're a Trey Lance fan, go somewhere else or just wait for an injury to get your opportunity. Because like right now, you're just buried on the depth chart, and it's just wild to think how much they gave up the 49ers to move up.
The Commanders.
Against the Commanders? What? Oh, the trade.
No, trade.
Yeah.
Him to the Commanders would be interesting.
And I think the kid deserves a shot, but like he doesn't pick up the offense as quick. You could tell he's a little slow out there and a little clunky. And then
he played like 10 college games, like or
less. And the only time I saw Trey Lance in a group, again, it's one day I was here. He got a design run and then a scramble run back to back, and he kind of got some confidence off of that. He needs to be on the move and running to make some plays to get the arm going, and I don't know, that could be kind of a bad thing.
Supposedly, a media member stepped on Kyler Murray last week. Was that you?
Is that actually a real story?
No.
It was not me, but that would have been bad, man.
What was that like? Because they practice in their stadium, right?
Yeah, man. So everybody, I don't know if you saw that video, Fernando, where one of the quarterbacks threw the ball at somebody's helmet, and it's like,
oh my god,
it's gonna be a rough year for Arizona. And yeah, I couldn't name like more than 3 dudes on the team. And I got to know Clayton Tune, the rookie. And okay, I got to all watch for this guy. But like besides Hollywood and James Conner, like who else you got on the squad? It's gonna be a long year. And when I was talking to the GM, and by the way, Jonathan Gannon, Brandon Staley's BFF, he's a very outgoing dude, like very energetic, and it's cool to get to know him. And he's like, I don't care what people are saying about our team, but look at the roster and the situation. It's gonna be a rough year, man. So it is a nice. At least they have a nice setting, a good stadium to practice in. But yeah, that roster looks pretty tough to look at.
Yeah, no, and you could tell right away. I told you, Gilbert, and I'm going to keep by this. I think they're going to end up drafting Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they're going to go 2 for 1, and
that'd be nice.
And that'd be a great combination. You have Budda Baker, who's a leader on that defense. You have some good pieces there. I just think that sometimes you kind of need something new, and I feel like what's his name? I just feel like Kyler Murray maybe needs to go somewhere else, somewhere with an offensive mind. See, the thing about that is, and when they got Gannon, I was kind of like, I wonder if that means that they're giving up on Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray doesn't need a defensive-minded coach. He needs an offensive-minded coach, unless they would have brought in an offensive mind that's a former head coach or a good offensive mind, but they didn't do that. So I'm wondering if they've kind of punted on Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and then if you think about it, it's a new GM too. Like the GM and his coaching staff didn't draft Kyler Murray, and they're not the ones that paid him that big contract either. And it was
exactly.
We went on a good day because like the GM spoke, and those beat reporters, man, they're on it. Like we're in August. They're talking about the draft already. They're like, hey, Monty, are you going to consider getting a quarterback with one of your 2 picks? And he's like, holy cow, like I'm trying to get through Tuesday. And I'm like, hey, you got to ask the question. But yeah, and somebody was like, hey, does Kyler have something to prove to you? Like, he hasn't really, like, he's not really your guy. And he's like, everybody has something to prove to me kind of thing. So, but they're going to get the same questions for the whole year.
That is interesting. What was the sense at Cowboys? Because I know that obviously it's funny. Everybody's probably like Cowboys. Yeah, for some people who don't know, I know Cowboy fans know, but some people don't know. The Cowboys practice up in not Northern California, but north of Los Angeles.
I think that's Central. Area. I'm gonna go with Central California.
Central? Oh, it is. Oh yeah, Central. My bad.
It's like borderline south. I don't know.
Yeah, northern LA.
Something. Yeah, there you go. Well, like super northern LA, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you got to keep it simple. But we obviously the day before you went on a good day because the day before you went,
Oh yeah.
obviously Trayvon Diggs said what he said. Dak Prescott. I won't repeat it. Kid show. I won't repeat it, but he called him well, no, he said shut. No, I can't.
Okay.
Now I can't even remember what he said. But he just said something derogatory, not derogatory. Well, he just cursed at him. There we go. Why are
I think
we
he called him a
stepping
female
around
dog,
this?
but other than that,
Yeah. There you go. But well, yeah. So, what was the sense around that? Is it just like, it's whatever? Is like it's just teammates going at it, or what was the sense that you got?
yeah, I actually didn't even see the video before I got there, and I was like, oh crap, like that is kind of like a heated trash talk. But then again, it's like, who cares? They're trash talking. It's in a heated moment between the one defense and the one offense, and that's what you do, right? Like, you want it to be kind of a game-like setting. Like, they're all helping each other out, but still, like, it won't be like that on game day. Like, you're trying to like get the best out of everybody. So, like, if I would have caught that, like, maybe say I was a beat reporter, like, I probably wouldn't give 2 cents about it. But I'm like, oh, people do care, so get to write about it. And it was funny because I noticed a lot of the beat reporters were like having their phones out for everything because they want to make sure they catch the next viral clip. And I'm like, oh, they're an alert there with the
Well,
Cowboys.
I think Mr. President was the one that got it.
Calvin?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Calvin was the one that
Yeah, I actually
got it.
got to meet him. He's a cool guy. Or not, maybe it was some. I think it was Clarence. I think it was. But
Oh, okay. I saw that one play where Dak like threw it up into double coverage, and the safety just goes whoop and just catches it and runs it back. I was like,
that's the
wow.
other thing. The thing that was really interesting to me for Cowboys practice, like, how a lot of them, like a lot of teams, like to have their kind of like their game like setting. Where like, okay, you save the best for last. You're playing a 2 minute drill, or you're moving down the field, right?
Yeah.
And with the Cowboys, it was like just stay in the middle of the field, and it was like keep doing the play over and over again until you perfected it because it's a new scheme with Mike McCarthy. And I was surprised that Dak was honest. He was like, "Man, like it's actually pretty different from Kellen Moore, which could be a really bad thing or a really good thing. I don't know, Fernando. But it's gonna be a lot of different tweaks there with the offense. So they kept doing it over, like Prescott was something would fumble the ball off the snap, like things like that, and bad interceptions. He's like, do it again. And I kept thinking, like, I kind of feel bad for the defense because they're not getting their work in. They're kind of like at the pace of the offense. But then again, if you're the defense, you've been working with Dan Quinn. You know Dan Quinn. And I'm sure the veterans were like, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
I always get one curse word in there. Like, hey, it's training camp. I'd rather save my body. Let the offense, work harder than us. But I think they said Mike McCarthy said that towards the end of camp, probably like maybe next week, that's when it'll be more like game like setting because he wants to make sure they get that offense going. So I don't know, man. Like it hasn't worked before, whatever they were doing, but at the same time, you're kind of thinking like it's kind of a drastic change. Why are you guys doing all that? But we'll see.
Um. What's the sense you get about Dak? I mean, is Dak still the guy for them, or
Yeah,
because you know
man.
that there is a little bit of hesitation when you kind of listen around the league and everything. So
That's what I
I'm
thought too.
wondering if they're still.
That's what I was thinking too. Like after so many strikeouts in the playoffs, like after a while, you kind of get a little like restless, right? Like okay, like this guy gonna take us to at least a championship game, and then now you're starting to see reports that they're starting talks about an extension, and he's due for a contract extension because after this year he has no more guaranteed money. So I'm like, hey, maybe they could probably break up because he never does anything in the playoffs. Like the way they got crushed by the 49ers, I'm like, oh, that's so deflating, man. Every single year.
Isn't that 2 years in a row now?
Yeah,
I
something
think
like
2 years
that.
in a row.
So
Yeah.
you would think, okay, let's give them one pressure filled year, do your thing, and then we'll talk. But they're trying to get it over. It's kind of like Kirk Cousins, like they give him 1 year after 1 year, but I think the thing with Prescott Fernando is like they all love his leadership. Like everybody loves the guy. Like he's a very good leader, and
He's the Campbell spokesman, dude. It went
yeah,
from Donovan McNabb to him.
and it's not easy to find in a guy who could take the spotlight for in Dallas and like have things like roll off his
It's
back,
hard.
all the criticism. But then again, like sometimes you got to perform, and he kind of has that wall he can't get over. But he's gonna get paid. I feel like.
Well, that has been Gilberto's tour around training camp.